that there? This is a good spot for the rat house. Every village must have one. It'll be nice and prominent here. It's on the hillside, so the foundations will stay dry. It can have its own little square, close to the church. There's no better site here. Good. Whoever built it did a good job. Considering how old it is and what it's been through recently, it stood up well. It won't be an easy job to fix it, but it can be done. Timber alone won't do, though. Look out. We could fit at least one tradesman's shop here. Maybe a baker's? quite a lot of space here. It just needs clearing thoroughly. Then we could even fit stables here. Main approach road and stream. This bridge needs reinforcing. It won't last long in this condition. I reckon it would make sense to build a weir over the stream down there. The water here is clean and can be used to supply the village until we sink a well. It's a good thing we have this stream. No point in building without a water source. Supplies and trade will flow through here. I can't even see past the trees and ruins whether there's room for anything there. But at least the trees are strong and healthy. All we need is a few good woodcutters, and we won't have to bring in any timber from elsewhere. Stone foundations. They'll come in handy, and we're close to the stream.
Me? Heel.
Lots of space here. Good site for an inn. That's that then. The most essential surveying is done.
So, Master Locator, ready to start building?
There's a long way to go before that. The few ruins that are left are basically beyond repair. It's all overgrown with brush.
Oh dear.
We'll have to get it all cleared before we can start rebuilding it.
So it is possible to rebuild everything?
Yes, absolutely.
But building a whole village is no small enterprise.
We'll need timber, lots of it, which isn't a problem in the middle of the woods, of course. We'll have to hire wage labor to begin with. Quite a lot of men. I think we should get started without delay. There's a lot of work involved, but it'll be well worth the effort. I can just imagine it. The church will dominate the whole settlement.
Oh, that's good news. When will you inform Sir Divis?
Why wait? I'll head to Talmberg right away. But would you keep an eye on things here in the meantime? It would be rather embarrassing to run into more bandits when I return with Sir Divish.
No problem. I'll be right here.
It shouldn't take us long. My lord, welcome to Pribyslavitz. That is to say, welcome back to Pribyslavitz after all these years. Well, what's left of it.
Not to worry, Marius. I'm glad to be back in my old hamlet. Although, it seems to have aged about as gracefully as I have over the years.
I beg to differ, sir. It's quite dilapidated, unlike your good self, but at least it's safe now. Thanks in part to Henry here, who also saved me from a predicament that cost me valuable time. Who knows? If it hadn't been for him, we might not even be talking now.
Well, lad, in the end, you managed things in your own way, I see. Just as you said you would.
I did my best, sir. Well, to begin with, they wouldn't hear a word about letting Master Marius go. Of course, the clink of silver is the only language the likes of them understand.
They're a perfidious rabble.
True, sir, and greedy with it. They wanted a fat ransom and, well, I paid it from my own purse.
I appreciate you doing everything you can to ensure the safety of my subjects. I don't know how much you had to pay.
Sir?
Henry shouldn't lose out for doing the best he could under the circumstances. Here, this ought to cover the cost. Let's get down to the matter in hand, shall we? What state is Pribyslavitz in?
Sir, in my official capacity as locator, I am gratified to inform you that the hamlet of Pribyslavitz may be renewed. And indeed it offers prospects of considerable expansion beyond its former limits.
Splendid! Finally, some good news for this province.
And badly needed, too.
So, what have you discovered so far? I want to know all the details.
We had a scout around.
We conducted a basic survey, from which we can make a preliminary outline of the parcels. I already have in my head an initial plan of what can be built where.
We should certainly have a church. I'd like to preserve the existing one.
That should present no serious obstacles. The building is in much better condition than we anticipated. But extensive reconstruction will be required.
That's to be expected.
There's a stream here, and a well, right in the middle of the village.
Yes, and there are abundant woods around. Clearing them will provide both extra land and timber supplies that we can use right away.
Right now, I believe we're standing on the village green, aren't we?
The future green, that is. The village centre will comprise at least 6 large buildings to begin with. We can't fit any more than that here, so there will be other buildings away from the square, in particular more extensive structures.
I'm glad to hear it. I never expected you'd find so much space here in the middle of the woods. The building work we're about to engage in is only the first part of my plan. Later, we'll clear more forests for agricultural land and build more farmhouses. But for now, we'll have to focus on more sensible goals.
As you wish, my lord.
Rebuilding a whole village must cost a king's ransom, though.
It's true it won't come cheap. Before the tradesmen settle here and start producing and trading, it will be necessary to invest a certain amount of capital.
A certain amount? How much exactly?
I wouldn't venture to state a precise amount at this point, but I expect it will come to some thousands, even tens of thousands of groschen.
Well, that much? I hope you're good at haggling.
We shall, of course, attempt to procure everything at the best possible price, but raising a settlement from the ashes you see around you is a costly business. Nevertheless, I can assure you, my lord, that if all goes well, the investment shall all come back to you with interest.
I hope I shall live to enjoy it, Master Marius.
A village isn't a village without villagers. You'll need new subjects. Even preparing the ground for building will need lots of labour. Where can we find so many people, sir?
You sound skeptical, lad. But it's a good question. I've already given it some thought. I've agreed with Radzik and Hanish that we shall make an announcement in Rattay to invite people to move here and help with the construction, which will bring them many benefits, but also obligations. In addition, I expect the prospects of a new home will appeal to your former Skalitz neighbors more than a makeshift camp by the castle walls.
They'll be delighted, sir.
A splendid solution, sir. I've also been concerned about how to bring settlers here, but now it seems there will be no shortage of new inhabitants after all.
It seems things are finally looking up. We routed the bandits in battle, and Henry took care of the remnants. When can we get to work?
Right away, as far as I'm concerned. All we need is people and the necessary funds. And we'll need someone to keep order, at least in the interim.
True. I'll leave you some of my men.
If I may, I would recommend quickly appointing a bailiff to take responsibility for the renewal of the village, its coffers and its citizens.
True. First things first. Since you understand these matters best, you shall take charge of the land parceling and building works. You'll be available to the bailiff, but answerable directly to me.
I'd be honored, sir. Thank you.
And, as regards the office of bailiff, what about you, Henry?
Yes, sir?
You've proven yourself well. You've demonstrated that you're capable of solving problems, and you command the respect of your former Skalitz neighbors.
Well, I'm not so sure.
And you're also capable of maintaining law and order.
I must concur.
So, let us expedite matters. Henry, I hereby appoint you to the office of bailiff of the hamlet of Pribyslavitz, in my domain.
My lord, it's a great honor. Thank you.
You will oversee the initial renewal and administration of the village that will set the ground for further development. But don't imagine it'll be a bed of roses, lad. Being bailiff doesn't mean you can do whatever you like. If you don't treat the settlers rightly, I'll soon find out and relieve you of your office. Besides, we can't spare a single groschen from the Talmberg coffers now, with the province in chaos. So, you'll have to cover the cost for the building work from your own purse.
Me? But Marius said it would cost a fortune.
True, but from what I hear, you know how to get your hands on coin enough. So, I expect you'll manage it just fine.
I'd like to know who's been spreading such gossip.
And I am assigning you certain specific tasks. You must ensure the rebuilding of the church. That means complete reconstruction, wall paintings, and a new altar. See to it that in the future, the village will be capable of supporting a certain number of people. For that, you will need to ensure the construction of essential artisans' buildings. And ultimately, the village must produce sufficient earnings to fund further expansion.
But, sir, I've never done...
I understand your concerns, but you'll be handsomely rewarded. I shall grant you the proceeds from the whole village for the first 5 years, And you have my permission to use the surrounding woods and land as you see fit.
Well, that's, I mean... Are you sure I'm the right man for the job, sir? It's a lot of responsibility.
As you said yourself, Henry, it's a great honor. Besides, you won't be alone in it. I'll assist you and supervise the construction work.
Phew. All right, then.
So, we're agreed. You'll give this document to the Rete bailiff. He'll make the announcement to invite settlers, which should ensure enough people to begin work. At the same time, your official appointment as bailiff will be announced.
I don't know what to say, sir.
I'm sure you won't disappoint me, Henry. And now I must get back to my duties at Townburg. Send word when everything is prepared.
Certainly, sir. Have a safe journey.
Farewell, sir. What now?
Before we can start building as much as an outhouse, we'll have to get the whole area cleared, and we'll need lots of people to work the land and parcel it out.
Right. So I suppose I'd better get to Ratai first and see to that announcement.
Indeed. I'm sure the bailiff will be more than happy. It will get the refugees out of his hair, and the citizens will stop complaining. I'll stay here for now and start planning the building plots. As soon as the labourers arrive, I'll start allocating work to them.
kellett oda repülnie. Kurva élet! Észkos ledarállak! Most talál! És megvagy! Ó, fasz! Yeah. Hey!
I feel quite hungry.
I've got something for you. I know this is your favorite.
It is indeed. Thank you. I've got something...
All right. I can't have you walking around in torn rags.
Jesus Christ be praised.
I've got some goods here whose owners might miss them.
All right, let's see what we can do about that. Take care now.
Let's talk about the... Agree?
Close. Aye. With that amount, I can be persuaded.
It's nice to see you.
Wouldn't you like to take us...
In this weather?
Yeah.
Sigismund and his murder.
I hope I can be of some humble...
God be with you.
I'm honored that you should... God be with you.
Are you quite...
Master Bailiff, is there anything of interest going on here?
Nothing of interest to me, thank Christ.
I have a document for you from Sir Divish. It concerns the renewal of Pribys Labbits.
The village you drove those bandits out of?
Very same.
So it's true then. Good. Good. Let me see that document then.
Here it is.
So what have we here? It says I should announce that anyone interested may move to Pribys Labbits to live and work. And Sir Radzig and Sir Hanush also give their consent. In that case, let's not waste any time. Come along with me. Good luck to you.
Asparagus for taste and prunes for what ails you. Try them.
Hear ye, hear ye. It is hereby announced, in the name of Sir Hanush and Sir Divish, that you, the citizens of Ratai, as well as those who have found temporary refuge here, are permitted to move to the hamlet of Pribyslavitz to the north of Tomberg Castle, wherein you shall be vouchsafed a new life and new dwellings, providing that you shall contribute to the renewal of the hamlet. All those who choose to accept this offer shall be exempted from payment of taxes for a period of 5 years. They shall be permitted also to make use of timber from the surrounding woods and water from the streams. The hamlet of Pribyslavitz lies in the domain of Sir Divish of Talmberg, and all who settle there shall be duty-bound to him. It is furthermore hereby announced that Henry of Skalitz is appointed to the administration of Pribyslavitz and the office of bailiff therein, which office and privilege have been conferred upon him by Sir Divish for loyalty and services rendered. I would therefore recommend that our Skalitz friends consider this offer very seriously, as nothing better is likely to come your way anytime soon.
So my wife's brother finally paid back the dozen groschen he owed me.
What? You mean the money you lent him last winter? He took his time.
He did, but I didn't want to upset the old woman by chasing him for it.
It's better never to lend money to kin. It's always a nuisance.
That's just what I said to him.
Oh? How'd he take that?
He took it, well, like a man. It was the wife that flew into a rage. Called me a tight-arsed old stinking billy goat. I'd never hear the end of it if I didn't lend him the coin.
I'd like to have seen that. Well, at least he paid it back in the end.
He did, but I said he might throw in a groschen or two more for all the time I had to wait, and he near bit my head off.
You can't choose your kin, eh?
Isn't that God's truth?
Welcome back.
Well, the bailiff read Sir Divish's decree, and now I'm officially bailiff of Pribyslavitz.
Then allow me to congratulate you. What will be your first step?
First, actually, I'm not quite sure. What would you recommend?
As it happens, I already saw to a few things in your absence. You might have noticed that the first people have come from Ratai.
Yeah, I saw some heading here right away.
So when they arrived, I was able to start clearing building plots with them. After they'd erected some temporary dwellings, that is.
Well, there's nothing here, so we'll have to build everything. Ale house, bakery, butchers, rat house. Did I mention ale house?
Eventually. But be warned. To begin with, it's always best to start with facilities that will be producing construction materials for everything else. And since we'll mainly be using timber, it makes sense to set up a woodcutter's camp.
All right. And then what?
That depends. Every building has its use. You'll soon get the grasp of it, and it's all in the ledger.
How do I choose what?
I've already given it some thought on your behalf. I even wrote it all down in the accounts ledger. Everything will be recorded there. I'll make a note of every change as we proceed.
Thanks. That'll be a big help. And where can I find this book?
It will always be kept at the Rat House.
What about the workers' wages and buying materials for artisans?
The money must be put in the trunk here. The expenditures for wages and materials will be taken from it. So you should keep it topped up to prevent delays. It reminds me, there's the matter of my own pay to be resolved.
Yes, of course.
Sir Divish guaranteed me a fixed income. What's more, this job is an exceptionally big one.
I see. But how much are you thinking?
I have a record of payment here somewhere. Here it is. Let's say 1/4 more than that.
Well, as you said yourself, it's just a continuation of your work for Sir Divish, so I see no reason to change the conditions now.
Well, all right. It seems we understand each other. I agree.
Good. I'll put your wages in the trunk, too. Are you sure it's quite safe?
Quite. Only you and I shall have a key and access to the trunk. Besides, we'll have guards on watch here.
That's reassuring.
That's about all to begin with. If you need any more details, I'll be happy to explain things to you.
Could you explain... What are my duties as bailiff?
As bailiff, you're the bailiff... Which... So you... You should...
How do...
That whenever...
And what... How do I...
Those...
And what...
Then production will... Watch out. The amount need... So you...
How can I get...
Don't worry. You...
What about...
I can find... Although it's...
I see.
But don't forget...
How can I improve the buildings?
The process is exactly the same as for building from the ground up. We need to have enough coin, materials, and of course, something to improve. It goes without saying that there's no point in better blacksmith's equipment if you've no forge to put it in.
Well, I can't argue with that. But why bother with improvements at all?
Because they make it...
Nothing. So?
You're...
Well, I want to build something.
Certainly, Master Bailiff.
I'd rather not build anything just now. I want to build something.
Certainly, Master Bailiff.
I'd like to build the rat house.
It's impossible. Check what you need in the ledger.
I'd rather not build any. I want to build some.
Certainly.
We need to get some...
It's impossible.
I'd rather not build anything. We need guards to protect the village and keep the peace.
It's impossible.
I'd rather not build any. I want to build...
Certainly.
We'll need woodcutters.
It's impossible.
With all the...
It's impossible.
Let's start...
It's impossible.
We'll need plenty...
It's impossible.
Well, people have to...
It's...
Let's build a but...
It's impossible.
Trade is important.
It's impossible.
No, we don't have a...
It's impossible.
That...
It's impossible.
I'd rather not build it. What is it this time?
We have a problem with water. That is, with the stream. With the, use of the stream.
The stream? What seems to be the trouble?
Sir, they won't let me have a shit.
What's that?
Your locator here won't let people go for a shit.
God give me strength.
Master Locator, would you be so kind as to cast some light on the matter?
I never forbade anyone to defecate. It's not something that can be prohibited anyway.
You did so.
All I asked was that people did their business further downstream. After all, we don't want our water supply contaminated. It could cause disease.
What kind of disease?
Digestive disorders, fever, even death.
Ah, what a load of nonsense. We always poured our shit out right there on the road. They even do that in Prague, for what I've heard. What else would they do with it?
Is it true about Prague?
Admittedly, in many cases, yes. But often there's no other option. The wealthier citizens have a latrine in their courtyard which they empty out whenever necessary. But the common folk do empty their chamber pots on the streets.
See now.
But it's also said that if the Turks ever try to attack Prague, it's the stink that will hold them back, not the walls.
What do you suggest, Master Marius?
Let the people answer the call of nature at least 100 feet downstream from the village.
What? That far? What if I get the runs? I'd shit myself before getting there.
I've decided. Defecating will only be allowed at least 100 feet from the village.
But, sir...
A wise decision, Henry.
Well, at least we have permission to go and shit again. I'll go and tell the fellas we can go to the stream. It's been a tough few days.
You mean you haven't been since... No, don't say it. I don't even want to know.